Oh, let me tell you, this is the Midland ER210 emergency radio. And yeah, it's a radio. Alright, this is the overview of the Midland ER210 weather radio. And it receives AM, FM, and the weather bands from channel 1 to 7, obviously your 162.400 to 162.550 megahertz. This does not receive same headers. This is only a 1050 Hz activated weather radio. Now let's get to the review. This is a pretty basic yet advanced weather radio. As you can see, here's the front, which consists of a panel here with an not LCD, with a screen, it's just the digits and can only display digits. And probably nothing much. I think there's only, how much characters is there? Because there's 4, I think there's just 5 characters, except for that number 1, which is that, it's not that one, but it's like the one over there. So it contains 4.5 characters, I'd probably say, or maybe even less. You'll see why in a minute. You have a few icons up there for your battery, and I think there's also your weather alert icon, which we're gonna get to that later on. It's a pretty small speaker, but it doesn't get that loud. It kind of gets somewhat loud, but doesn't get that loud. Here's the bottom. This bottom consists of a quick start reference to tell you what to do when you first get the radio, and it also that also acts as a cover for this battery. It's a 2200 milliamps battery provided by Midland. It's included in the weather radio. We'll close that. Up here we have a solar panel, and we have a flashlight button, which turns on and off your flashlight, which is in the front. We here have a handle to hold your weather radio, and you can actually open this up, and you have your auxiliary out, which is where sound goes out, and you're actually USB charging. I think this is a USB charging out, so it also can come out and charge your phone with a USB cable, which is actually included with the weather radio. It includes a micro USB where you can plug in with the micro USB port to charge the weather radio. So this is the crank. It's not bad. This is the size comparison of the weather radio compared to a cardboard Go Bus, compared to a compact disc, and average size of a Samsung Galaxy S10 phone, or supposed size of it. So this weather radio is kind of small, almost as small as and wide as a phone, but its thickness is a different story. See, more thicker than a compact disc, which obviously it is. Alright, we're gonna be getting into the menu and options. So this is basically your main interface of the weather radio. You press this power button to activate the weather. That is St. Catherine's. It's playing an alert. If you actually press it one more time, you actually get your AM station, which is actually pretty good at receiving it. So this is 520 kilohertz, not sure what station that is. This is 94.3, but I don't think... Yeah, this is KX947, it's the local station. And that's pretty much it. It will cycle through the 3 bands you'll be receiving. And then you have to press it long to turn it off. Then this is your weather radio. Now if you press it once, it actually will activate the weather radio alert. So whatever station you're monitoring, like right here, and if this station plays a same header, or no, I mean, sorry, if this station plays a 1050 Hertz tone, it will sound the alarm of the weather radio. And the alarm is actually kind of loud, but it's a loud and ear-piercing alarm, kind of. I cannot demonstrate it because there's no alert test on this weather. 36. radio. So yeah, so I'm gonna turn that off right now. You can actually, to get to the menu, you have to press and hold it, and it will show you. This is actually the setup, so you can select if you want 24-hour clock or 12-hour clock. 12-hour clock is basically going to have the AM and PM, and it will actually show up as icons up there, but I usually prefer that 24-hour. And then to go to the next part, you have to press the menu button again, and you can set your time, 12:05. But you can, unlike the WR120, you actually cannot set it as an individual characters. You actually have to cycle through the time. Backlight. This actually, BL stands for backlight, and the S stands for standard, off, on. So the standard will, of course, like, it's kind of like the WR120 again. If you press a button, the backlight will turn on, and then if you don't press it for a while, it will turn off. So S stands for standard. Off, the backlight turns off no matter what. So it actually, if you've seen the weather radio go off, it actually, I don't think the backlight will flash if an alert is going off on this weather radio. And on is when the backlight is always on. So usually you would want to leave it on S, which stands for standard, and when it's there when you need it, and it's not there when you don't need it. FR and CH. So this is actually the kind of how it displays the frequencies on mostly the weather radio bands. So I usually leave it on FR because, I like to see what type of frequencies it is, instead of the standard CH, which the CH shows you the 1 to 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I leave it on FR. If you want, you can leave it on CH, but FR is usually very helpful to me. And that's pretty much it for the settings. The volume control, up and down. So you have a weather station, and it's actually pretty loud. It's not that loud, but it gets loud. Loud enough to be loud, but it's not that loud to like make a room loud, but it's loud. Here, this is loud. It gets loud, but again, as I said, it wouldn't get that much loud, but it's loud. It gets loud. It's like it's loud, but it's not. But like, I feel it kind of is loud. So, but if if it's in an open space, or like if you're taking this outside, you won't be able to hear this from like a mile, from like a long distance away. So it's a speaker. It's a small speaker. What do you expect from a $50 weather radio? Well, okay, so let's take a look at the flashlight of this weather radio. I turned off some of the lights in my room. Can't really do much, and I'm gonna compare it to one of these two flashlights. So first one, we're gonna try this weather radio. Now, just a reminder that you use this button and you turn on the flashlight, and I'd say it's kind of bright, but it actually gets brighter if you press it again to turn it on to a more brighter setting. Now, with this brighter settings, would probably drain the battery a bit faster, and actually already took off one tab of the battery, one battery tab over there. That was on 3, now it's on 2, so almost halfway. And then if you press it again, it actually does the Morse code the Morse code for SOS. So it does 3 long, 3 short, and 3 long. No, or was it? No, it was 3 short, 3 long, and 3 short. That's Morse code. I'll have a brain fart on that for a minute. These are 2 flashlights I want to compare it with. This flashlight's not that bright. Okay, that was more brighter. This flashlight gets a little more brighter. You can actually clearly see that this flashlight is a bit more. What's unlike this radio, this flashlight has a bit more area to it on how wide it goes, and doesn't have that single center point circle on it. But of course, with that center circle being over there, the ER210 flashlight is brighter than this wall flashlight that you would put on your wall. And I'm actually going to show you what it would look like if it's charging in 3 methods, because you can actually charge this. Well, you could charge this in 3 methods. You can either charge it with the USB cable, which shows the charge. You can also charge it via the solar panel in the sunlight, or you can charge it by cranking it. If you crank it, the light will light up for charging. Now I can tell you that ER210 is overall a pretty cool weather radio. The build kind of sturdy, and you have this folding out, this antenna that actually comes out from the weather radio, and you can actually but you have a limited antenna movement because of the handle. And I hit it on there. Aye. It's actually pretty short. Let's measure the antenna. See, the antenna comes out to be at least 10 inches in measurement, or 10 and a quarter, or you would say in Canadian, would say 26 centimeters. So the antenna is 26 centimeters long. But what I like about it is actually it kind of goes into the weather radio, just like that. And overall, this is the Midland ER210 weather radio. I wish I got the 310, but like the 210, still pretty cool.